Greetings everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. You'll have to excuse how I sound in this video. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but today we have not one, not two, but three boxes from Thomas Balisong. I'm completely unsure why he sent me so many, but I'm not complaining. Here we are. Two of them are taped up. One of them is not. I believe this is the new Refault. And we're going to check it out as quick as possible so that this doesn't take a 20-minute video. We're also going to figure out why he sent me three of them. Thomas loves sending me multiples, which, again, not complaining. If you don't know Thomas's previous work, he's known for things like the Baikal and like the Aragon or like the Astra. But specifically, this Refault, kind of a strange name, is in reference to this bad boy. This was the default. Something that Thomas created to kind of be like the default entrance into the hobby. I don't think it really ended up taking root, and he kind of took, I assume he took that feedback and made his second attempt. He retried, if you will, and made the Refault, which is hopefully going to be a thinner, a little bit more interesting flipper. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. We have a certificate that tells us the specs. We got a 5CR15 blade, 7075 aluminum handle with G10 Ultem carbon fiber. Glassy vocals designed by Thomas Balisong. Strive for the future. I believe this weighs 3.94 ounces and has an overall length of somewhere around 10 inches. I know 3.94 ounces for a fact. I don't know the overall length actually. We get his lovely pouches, which I actually love so much. Microfiber cloth, extra hardware, and I believe these are extra weight for the end of the handle. This is going to make a mess even on my massive hobby desk over here, and here we have it. Check that out. So this looks like, I don't know, does it say on the box what this is? No. This looks like maybe the carbon fiber variant, the black carbon fiber variant with the black blade. This comes in Tonto or Bowie. I'm unsure if there's blackened and just silver blades or what's the deal, but it looks like this is all black. It says Ethan Blade Bias on it. It's so cool. I'm just going to give it a flip. The carbon fiber feels okay. We're looking at a much, not even much thinner than the original default. Much more chamfered, much more rounded, so maybe that's going to make it feel a little thinner, but man, it really doesn't seem like the chunkiness has been toned down a ton. I mean, it definitely has. Like, it's definitely a lower profile, but not as much as I would have expected given kind of the talk of this thing. Oh, actually, sound test. Glassy vocals indeed. Sounds very good. Sounds ridiculously good, actually. Oh, boy. Trouble on Chaplains? Not really. Pretty good Chaplains. Pretty good rollovers. Fans pretty well. Choker fan's much better than the default. The default would always get stuck in my hands on the choker fan because of how, oh boy, because of how chunky it was. Just was something that it kind of struggled with. But, damn. Impressed with it so far. Feels nice and neutral. A little bit of handle bias. Like, I wouldn't really say it's like a blade bias thing, but it fans well. It choker fans well. Rollovers well. 0Gs well. Double thumb rollovers well. Even does that goofy little combo I like to do well. Bite handle side. It does have a bite handle indicator. Not the most noticeable thing in the world. Like, you definitely do. Okay, actually, you do notice it. Maybe if you were really in the flow of things, you wouldn't notice it. Spine of the blade. Pretty chill. Fairly comfortable. And I do kind of love this, like, aged blackening on the blade. Because, like, at all the corners, it's silver. But then when you look at it in direct light. Let me move my chair and try and get some more light in here. If we look at that thing in direct light, I have no idea how this is going to affect the lighting of this video, but it's like, it's got black, but with that silver on it. Actually, I quite enjoy that. That's nice. Really like how it flips too. These retail for $70, so this is right alongside what the default used to retail for, kind of aiming for that space that currently is taken by like the Cheese and the Orion, kind of bringing us back to having that big three for beginner Balisongs, which is nice to see. And I think this might end up making way more of a splash than the default really did. Because the default was great, but it was very difficult to recommend because it was so chunky, especially for beginners. I think when you're trying to make a beginner Balisong, you kind of got to swallow some of those like more crazy design decisions. And I mean, he was going for a beginner Balisong because he wanted it to be like the default choice. I think you kind of got to swallow some of those design decisions and make something that people are going to be able to learn on. And I think the Refault might be doing that so far. We have a different one here, pink and white on the card here. Same pouch, but what is different about this one? If I can, oh my God, fingers work. Ooh, we got white G10. Oh, it's purple. Oh, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know these things came in different colors. And that is like a truly blackened blade. What the heck? So this is like almost like an acid wash blade? I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I looked at the Amazon page before I started this video. I didn't see any like color options like that. Yeah, just black G10 with silver trainer, carbon fiber with silver trainer. Maybe there's other listings that I'm not seeing. But like this is like an acid wash to it, which I actually really like. This one is black. It's almost like an inked winter Nautilus kind of style over here. Looks amazing. Same blade. I do like the blackening. Not as much as I like the acid wash. And the G10 doesn't feel awful, actually. It does feel a little... It's a little weird, but it's not chalky. It doesn't feel like it's kind of coming off of my hands. So I think actually an oil would be kind of in... right up this thing's alley. G10, I believe. You'll have to... Yeah. I think the G10 is a little bit heavier than the carbon fiber. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's how it is. It feels slightly more handle biased, but it also feels a little bit... feels like it's got a little bit more momentum to it. Which I do kind of like, but at the same time I don't. Yeah, this feels a little more standard. Like, this feels kind of more like you're in line with, I don't know, like the Cheese or the Kraken trainer or something like that. So getting the G10 variation might actually be better for some people, but I'll kind of give that a test while I'm checking this thing out for the next few weeks. But yeah, it feels a little bit more sluggish because I think there is a little bit more weight to that G10. This feels actually this feels a lot more agile, but also maybe a lot less, maybe a little less sticky for people who are learning. So maybe the G10 is the place to go for that. I don't know. We'll have to see. I do like that these are meaningfully different. I am interested to see what the third and final one was. This one, another black card. Oh, this one comes with a magnet again. I don't understand exactly what's going on there. And this one is also carbon fiber, it looks like. Okay. I was hoping to try out the Ultem, but this looks to be the same. I don't know if there's some difference here. This is silver, though, on the inside, and we have the Bowie blade, which actually, I gotta say, I prefer the Tonto blade. This is my favorite one. This black carbon fiber with the acid wash blade looks incredible. Purple one's cool, though. Now this one, let's see how the Bowie blade flips. Ooh, the Bowie blade flips very well. Ooh, the Bowie blade flips really well, actually. I wasn't expecting it to carry as much tip weight as it feels like it does just on first flip. Light, agile, but with a little bit more handle bias to it to make chaplains feel a little bit better. Chaplains, rollovers, stuff like that. It does choker fan and fan a little bit. I think it feels just a little bit less tip weighted than the Tonto one does. Oh, there's actually like not a ton of difference here. The Tonto is definitely, to my hand, a little bit more neutral. You're definitely getting a little bit more of that handle bias from this Bowie blade. I mean, it's to be expected. There isn't much weight kind of out towards the tip like there is on the Tonto. The Tonto just, it's thicker out here, so it carries a little bit more of that weight. It's also interesting that he filled in here on this one, but not on this one. So yeah, this feels like a more neutral, kind of light and agile one. This feels like a slightly more handle bias one. Still light and agile, still fans and choker fans extremely well. So if that's what you're looking for, definitely don't shy away from this one. If I had to put them in rank of like most handle bias to least, first impressions, so I'll do this again when I actually have spent some time with this, but most handle bias, medium, most neutral. And then I would assume that the G10 Bowie blade would be here, because that would be more handle bias than this, I assume. Overall, very impressed. Very impressed by the amount of customization. Not really sure how much people are going to be able to notice, especially beginners, but I guess I should give you guys... That one's incredibly bouncy, holy cow. Excuse me. I think that's my favorite sounding one right there. Yeah, this one sounds a little more zippy. Carbon fiber ones sound a little more hollow. This sounds a little more deep. Very nice, though. I like this. I think these are going to be excellent first beginner Balisongs for people. I think these are even going to be excellent for people who want to just add something cheap to their collection. I'm liking the amount of differences I feel in the flipping between all the options. I'm liking the amount of differences in customization, in blade types, in blade colors, in scales, you know, aluminum color, all of that. I like the specs. I like this thing a lot. It remains to be seen where it's going to fall in place for my current favorite starter Balisongs, the Cheese and the Orion. But that is something that we will have to take a look at. Really like this one. This acid wash blade is incredible looking. And I think it does have my favorite balance profile. I like that kind of heavier blade feel that this one has compared to that Bowie one. But yeah, actually very, very impressed. I don't think I've gotten it across this video. This is incredibly good performance for $70. And it doesn't feel like I'm giving something up like it did kind of with the Default. The Default was very boxy, still flippable, still great performance, but maybe not the greatest for a beginner. The Refault, I think, could actually end up being a really solid beginner option. So that's the Refault. Huge thank you to Thomas for sending these out. These were sent for free for the purposes of this video, but any and all opinions presented are my own. He hasn't paid me. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Thomas for sending these out. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.